The author D.H. Lawrence said, "If only we could have two lives, the first one in which to make our mistakes, and the second in which to profit from those mistakes." But unfortunately, there are no dress rehearsals for life. We've only got one shot at it.
Obviously, you can't change the past. We all make mistakes, we all mess up. But the question is, how can you make the most of the rest of your life? How can you live a life of purpose, one that is truly fulfilling?
For me, I don't really have any pressure to fit in anywhere. I do what I do 100% and I'm unshakable.
People see you like someone else and they say, yeah, you're acting like him or like that. You just say no and I am who I am.
At work? Yeah.
Before
Is taken. Jesus was the most authentic, most normal person who ever lived. He was the most fully integrated human being. And Paul says, do not conform any longer. In other words, move on from the past, make a clean break. Being yourself is ultimately liberating.
I don't know about you, but sometimes I think we have a fear of change. Perhaps you came to Alpha because you saw a friend or a family member. Something about their life seemed attractive, and you wanted to find out why. But at the same time, you're thinking, not sure I want to become like that. What would it mean to make that change? God's not going to ask you to leave behind stuff that's good. He only asks you to leave behind the rubbish in your life so you can take hold of all the treasure He has in store for you.
One of the treasures Paul mentions is sincere love. St. Paul writes, love must be sincere. Be devoted to one another in love. Honour one another above yourselves. The literal Greek word is anupokritos, which means without hypocrisy. And that was the word used in Greek plays when the actor wore a mask. That was called eupokritos, from which we get the word hypocrite. And I suppose this mask is what we put forward when we don't want people to see who we really are or kind of how we're really feeling. And we do it with our social media profiles. No one puts up a photo of themselves looking terrible. We find the best photo we can find with the best lighting and filters. But it's not always real. And the danger is if we treat our relationships and friendships could end up being very shallow or superficial. But that's not why we were created. We were created for meaningful relationships. And when I finally understood this, I realised that if God can accept me as I am, even though He knows all the worst things about me, then maybe I can accept myself.
When you realise that God loves you just as you are, you can drop the mask and be yourself. You can be authentic. And that's what it means to be a human being loved by God. And when that happens, you begin to experience a real connection with other people. And we see this happening in Alpha and the small group as people gradually begin to think that we'll impress people with our strengths. But actually we connect with people through our vulnerabilities. And it's when people begin to drop the mask that these amazing, deep friendships begin to form.
Sincere, authentic love is the opposite of superficial love. It's about being the same in different situations, so being consistent and having integrity. It means saying the same thing about someone as you'd say to someone, because sometimes it's tempting to talk about people behind their backs, to gossip about them.